Good morning, students. In this video, we will continue the play written by William Shakespeare, The Tempest, from our English literature. Let's first recall what we have learned till now. Prospero the magician wants to correct an old wrong by the love of his daughter Miranda and Ferdinand, the son of King of Naples. We end up in our second part where Prospero asked Ariel to search King Alonso and his brother Antonio. Now let's continue with page number 25, para number 4. King Alonso and Antonio had also been wandering through the jungle for hours, and now they were desperate with thirst and hunger. Their fine clothes, ripped by cruel thorns, hung round them in tatters, and sweat streamed down their faces. Alonso, certain that Ferdinand was dead, was stricken with grief, and at last he slumped to the trunk of a fallen tree. Here, when Ariel went in the search of King Antonio and Alonso, who were lost in jungle, she found that they both were very thirsty and hungry, and their conditions are very poor, very bad. They were in very bad condition. Their clothes were all torn out, and Alonso was very sad, as he thought that his son also died in that crashed when ship got crashed. Next, I can go no further, he groaned. I will wait here for death to put an end to my misery. Antonio glanced around uneasily. The jungle was an airy place, full of shadows. Airy means danger place. Full of shadows and whispering voices. Just a little further, my lord, he said. I see a clearing is not far ahead. Clearing means a free open space out of jungle. Okay. Perhaps we will find a spring of fresh water there. Here the author is explaining that when King Alonso, who was very sad by the death of his son, by thinking the death of his son, he means just sit there, get fallen there. And he said that I can't able to go ahead. I will wait for my death here. But Antonio tried to convince him to move further, as jungle is not very safe to be there, and maybe they will get a fresh spring of water ahead. Okay, next. The thought of water urged Alonso to his feet, and together the two men stumbled towards the edge of the clearing. Like a mirage, in the middle of the clearing stood a long table piled with food and drink. Golden platters of meat, baskets of bread, and golden jugs of wine. Here, they were very thirsty. King Alonso and Antonio, they were very thirsty. Their conditions was very poor. So when Antonio says that maybe ahead we will get a spring of water, Alonso makes some effort and started moving again. After some time, they saw a long table filled with food and lots of drinks. But it was just a mirage. In reality, it was not there. But they are feeling like this. Okay. We call that as mirage. That when we feels it is there, but it is not there. That is known as mirage. It is just an imagination. Next, Alonso and Antonio hurried towards it. But before they could reach the feast means that place where this all delicious things was kept. There was a dazzling flash of light, and Ariel appeared. He hovered over the table in the shape of a harpy. Hovered means fly. A monster with a human head and the body of a gigantic eagle. Alonso tried to snatch a jug of wine, but Harpy hissed and slashed at him with its bronze talons. Foul spirit, why do you trouble us? Antonio sobbed. Here, when Antonio and Alonso moving towards that table, okay, what happens? Ariel appears with a flash of light, but not in the form of light only. He appears in the form of monster, having eagle's body and human head. And when Alonso trying to have the wine, he just cut him with his sharp curved nails. In low voice, Antonio asked him, why are you making trouble to us? Why are you troubling us? Next, for your betrayal of your brother Prospero and niece Miranda, the harpy screeched. Screeched means spoke in a loud voice. You and King Alonso set them in a boat and left them to mercy of the ocean. Prepare for your punishment now. Here it is explained when Antonio asked, why are you troubling us? The monster replied, that it is a punishment of what you had done with Prospero and his daughter Miranda. As you left them in an open boat in ocean to die, now you are get ready for your punishment. Next, Alonso and Antonio stared means they surprised, in amazement. Wondering how the spirit had discovered their guilty secret, they expected the harpy to tear them into pieces. But instead it faded into a cloud of tiny lights that swirled like specks of dust floating in a beam of sunlight. The two men felt themselves fall into a waking sleep and heard a voice speaking to them out of the cloud. Come, it said, follow, follow. Here it is explained. Antonio and Alonso were surprised how this monster know about their secret, that what they had done with Prospero. They thought that the monster will kill them, but the monster turned into a cloud of light and moved around them. The two men fell into sleep due to magic done by Ariel, and then he asked them to follow him and took them near Prospero's cave. Next. From all over the island, the crew of the wrecked ship came to gather on the beach near Prospero's cave, drawn there by magic. Here, by magic, Prospero gathered all the crew members of the ship. Crew members means every member who all were present in the ship. Near his cave, Antonio, Alonso, Ferdinand and many others. Next, the sailors rejoiced to see friends they thought and perished means die. They thought had perished and gazed means look, about in wonder. Had the storm only been a dream, or were they dreaming now? For there was their ship, undamaged, anchored close to the shore. The sailors laughed and scratched their heads, unable to believe their luck. In this para, actually when all the peoples of the ship gathered nearby the cave, they all were surprised to see each other alive. They were confused in is the storm was a dream, as their ship was anchored close to the shore, undamaged, completely fine. Next, Ariel brought Alonso and Antonio to the mouth of Prospero's cave and broke their trance. Trance means that dream-like sleep. Alonso gasped. Gasp means look. As Ferdinand and Miranda stepped out of the darkness, hand in hand, and his eyes blurred with tears. What wonderful new world is this that has such people in it, he wondered. Here, author is saying, on reaching to the cave, Ariel broke his magical spell, what he had done on Antonio and Alonso. And Alonso saw Ferdinand and Miranda together and said, what a wonderful world is it, as he was very surprised and very happy to see his son alive. Next, the world that will be made when we return to Naples and our children are joined in marriage, said a voice. Alonso and Antonio turned and saw Prospero standing behind him. Antonio could not meet his brother's eyes and hung his head in shame. When Alonso was very happy, at the same time a sound came from the back. Yes, it's really a beautiful world, and we will make our world very beautiful by getting married our children. Antonio and Alonso turned back and they surprised to see Prospero. Antonio was ashamed on his deed and unable to look at his brother's face. Next. Let our old hate be ended by their young love, Alonso, Prospero said. He came forward and placed his hand on Antonio's shoulder. I forgive you, brother, he said. We will rule Milan together and end our days in peace. Now go down to the shore and make ready to leave this island forever. Prospero asked Alonso, let's end our hate by the love of our children. He told Antonio that he is not angry with him and let's live happily together in Milan in peace. Let's go from here. Let's leave this island. Next. Are you coming, father? Asked Miranda. In a moment, my child, Prospero said. He waited until he was alone, then whispered, Ariel. Ariel grew out of emptiness. Too excited to hold one shape, he turned into a hummingbird, then a butterfly, then a winged unicorn. By this para, you will know that when everybody left, Prospero called Ariel slowly And then when Ariel knows that he is going to get free, that's why he was very excited. He can't able to have one particular shape. He was taking the shape of a bird, shape of a butterfly, or the unicorn. Okay, unicorn means the horse having the wings. Next, I have burned my books of magic and my wizard's staff, Prospero declared. You are free to go, my Ariel, but I shall sadly miss you. And I shall miss you too, dear master, said Ariel. But look for me in springtime blossom, or when the summer breeze stirs your curtain, or when the winter stars blaze bright. Until then, farewell. In this para, author says that Prospero told Ariel that he destroyed his magic book and his magical stick, and now Ariel is free. He also said that he is going to miss Ariel. Ariel also told Prospero that he is also going to miss him, and he said, whenever there will be flower blooms in springtime, or air moves during the summer, or in winter when the stars shine in the sky, feel my presence, master. He said it to Prospero. Till then, bye. Next. Farewell, sweet spirit, said Prospero, and he turned away so that Ariel would not see the tears in his eyes. As the ship's sails unfurled and it began to glide away, Caliban came out of his hiding place in the jungle. He danced on the beach, turning cartwheels as he whooped, I am king of the island, king. So students, in this para, Prospero was really very sad when Ariel was leaving. And then when the ship left for the towards Milan, seeing this, the Caliban, who was hiding somewhere in the island, he came out, okay, and started dancing very happily and shouting, now I am the king of the island, I am the king, okay. So students, in this way, by using magic, Prospero corrected the wrong of past and they all live happily ever after.